This is one of a series of videos on how to pre-record your lecture, assuming you have some slides to record it with. So this technique involves using the native recording mechanism in PowerPoint or Keynote. They're very similar in functionality and how they work. So basically what happens is you have your presentation, you open it up, and then under slideshow, there's this feature called record slideshow. And if you hit that, you will be dumped into a presenter's view of the presentation. It's actually, I think, recording. And it starts recording. So you've got the usual things. You have a timer, you have the absolute time, you have the current slide, and you have the next slide, and you have your presenter notes. And then you just hit record. So here I'm pre-recording. I've recorded this lecture a number of times using different techniques, and I can use, I don't know what that does, PowerPoint weirdnesses. You go through your presentation in the normal way, and you speak normally. Probably helps to have a good mic. When you're done, you exit the show, and you want to save your slide timings. So hit yes. And one thing to note, you can't quite see it there, but on each slide there's a little audio, for which you have audio, there's a little speaker icon. We didn't do any audio in the last one, so we don't have one there. And if you play that audio, you'll get the snippet, you'll get the snippet for this particular slide. Now you can save that presentation and you can share it the way you ordinarily would. You can also export the whole thing as a movie or save as a movie. And that will, you can adjust some of the features, about it, size, optimization levels. I haven't dorked with really any of this. I've just left the defaults in. Then you save it, and now you have a movie of your presentation, which you can then upload. So your choices here, you can distribute it as a presentation if they have PowerPoint, or you can use it. You can turn it into a movie and upload it that way. By the way, you can re-record, or you can record picking up from various points. I think I've just messed it up now. And there is also the ability to add a bit of audio directly. You can insert, I forget exactly where it is. Right, you can record audio by making a recorded sound that then gets embedded on the video, on the presentation, which I think I would only use for interactive work. In Keynote, it's very much the same thing. Open up your presentation of choice. You can see that I'm definitely doing the shitty version of my presentation. Make your online videos suck, because you just have to make them happen. So again, here under play, record slideshow, and you see a similar view here. In my case, the presenter's notes were hidden. I had to do a bit of work to get them going, and this just shows you the total time. There's probably some you can do some additional features around here. The key thing is that it doesn't start the recording already. You have to start it yourself, but you can start it. Gives you a nice little countdown, and now I'm recording my video and going through it as normal. Right, and if you don't like the presenter's notes, so here's a bunch of stuff that you can use to customize your display in a variety of ways. When you're done, hit stop, and you can go back and play through and hear how you've done. Close it, and again, the same thing. You can save it as is, or you can export it to a movie. Now you might, so if your audience has the program, you might think, give them the program. Um, I don't think, I mean, it will start playing uh, from the beginning, it seems. There might be some stuff that you can manipulate. One of the things that really surprised me is that when I was, not surprised me. So one of the things, I didn't expect the discrepancy to be this big. So this is the original PowerPoint presentation, and you can see that's 14 megabytes. It's a small presentation. It doesn't have a lot of graphics. If I look at the recorded version, so this is the one with audio, it jumps up about 2 megs to 16. It's a couple of minutes. The audio is compressed. It doesn't add a lot. For a long presentation, it could be quite significant. And of course, the presentation itself might be quite big. But when I export it as a movie, it gets smaller. And you see the same kind of pattern for PowerPoint. PowerPoint starts large, largish, not that bad. If I do the recording, it gains a bit more than Keynote in this case. These are all exactly the same recording. But if I export it, I didn't want that export it, I end up at 1.3. Now, in this case, I suspect the difference between the Keynote and the PowerPoint is in the Keynote, I used a higher resolution. But this is up to you. Now, remember, since if you're pre-recording, you might be dealing with people who have poor bandwidth, who have intermittent connectivity. So some of these options are quite convenient for making it relatively small, and you should experiment a little bit with that. Just to compare, the Collaborate one came in really nicely at 3.7 megs without any tuning, so not bad at all. I'll put all of these videos on these that I did on Dropbox, and I'll make a table as I update different kinds of variants thereof. So that's how you can use the software you already have and already using to make a recorded presentation. And I think there's some niceness about this, but in the end, you end up with a file on your computer that you have to upload. And if you already had to upload, then that's what you got to do. With Collaborate, you just have a link up there already, and same with some of the other software. Thanks.